Hello students, good morning all of you. Today I Rabindra Mohan Mishra from Sri Jagdamba Sanskrit College Batho am taking the class of Shastri first. Today we learn about William Butler Yeats as a poet. We have learned critical appreciation of the poem with explanation Wild Swans at Cooley. Today we see William Butler as a poet. William Butler Yeats or W. B. Yeats is widely considered to be one of the greatest poets of the 20th century. He belonged to the Protestant Anglo-Irish minority that had controlled the economic, political, social and cultural life of Ireland. Yeats sanctuary affirmed his Irish nationality. Yeats maintained his cultural roots, featuring Irish legends and heroes in many of his poems and plays. He was equally firm in adhering to his self image and an artist. This conviction led many to accuse him of elitism, but it also unquestionably contributed to his greatness. In 1885, an important year in Yeats' early adult life, his poetry was published for the first time in Dublin University Review, and he began his important interest in occultism. Gone shared Yeats' interest in occultism and spiritualism. Yeats had been a theosophist, but in 1819 he turned from his sweeping mystical insights and joined the Golden Dawn, a sacred society that participated ritual magic. Although its occult ambitions were a powerful force, in his private thoughts, most of its poetry, however, used symbols from ordinary life and from familiar traditions, and much of his poetry continued to reflect his interest in Irish subjects. During this decade, he also became increasingly interested in political techniques. He befriended English decadent poet Lynon Johnson, and in 1819 they helped found the Rhymers Club, a group of London poets who met to read and discuss their poems. The Rhymers placed a very high value on subjectivity and craftsmanship and preferred sophisticated aestheticism to nationalism. He was now the 60 years old smiling public man of his poem among school children, which he wrote after touring an Irish elementary school. He was also a world renowned artist of impressive stature, having received the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1923. Yeats' poems are at once local and general, personal and public, Irish and universal. Another important of poems is Yeats' keen awareness of old age. Even his romantic poems from the late 1890s often mention grey hair and weariness. Those poems were written while he was still a young man. Despite the author's often keen awareness of his physical decline, the last 15 years of his life were marked by extraordinary vitality and an appetite for life. In 1929, he also wrote a series of brass, vigorous poems narrated by a fictitious old peasant woman, Crazy Jane. As years aged, he saw Ireland change in ways that angered him. But Yeats offset his frequently brazen manner with the personal conflicts expressed in his last poems. He faced death with a courage that was founded partly on his vague hope from reincarnation and partly on his admiration for the bold heroism that he perceived in Ireland in both ancient times and the 18th century. In proud mood, he could speak in the stern voice of his famous epitaph. Throughout his last year, Yeats's creative imagination remained very much his own, isolated to a remarkable degree from the successive fashions of modern poetry despite his extensive contacts with other poets. He simply was unconcerned that during the last 2 decades of his life, his preference for using rhyme and strict stanza forms would set him apart from the vogue of modern poetry. Yeats wanted poetry to engage the full complexity of life, but only insofar as the individual poet's imagination had directed access to experience or thought, and only insofar as those material were transformed by the energy of artistic articulation. He was, from the first to last, a poet who tried to transform the local concern of his own life by embodying them in the resonantly universal language of his poem. His brilliant rhetorical accomplishments, strengthened by his considerable powers of rhythm and poetic phrase, have earned wide praise from readers. It's believed that art and politics were intrinsically linked and used his writing to express his attitudes toward Irish politics as well as to educate his readers about Irish cultural history. From an early age, Yeats felt a deep connection to Ireland and his national identity. His early compilation of folklore sought to teach a literary history, and his early poems were odes to the beauty and mystery of the Irish countryside. The work frequently integrated references to myths and mythical figures. Yeats became more involved in Irish politics. His poems increasingly resemble political manifestos. Yeats wrote numerous poems about Ireland's involvement in World War I. Yeats believed that art could serve a political function. Poem could both critique and comment on political events as well as educate and inform a population. Its devotion to mysticism led to the development of a unique spiritual and philosophical system and emphasized the role of fate and historical determinism, or the belief that events have been preordained. Yeats had rejected Christianity early in his life, but his lifelong study of mythology, theosophy, spiritualism, philosophy, and the occult demonstrate his profound interest in the divine and how it interacts with humanity. Over the course of his life, he created a complex system of spirituality using the image of interlocking gyres to map out the development and reincarnation of the soul. Yeats believed that history was determined by fate and that fate revealed its plan in moments when the human and divine interact. A tone of historically determined in inevitably permits his poem, particularly in description of situations of human and divine interaction. In other poem, the divine is only gesture, no matter what shape it takes. The divine singles the role of fate in determining the course of history. Yeats started his long literary career as a romantic poet and gradually evolved into a modernist poet. When he began publishing poetry in the 1880s, his poem had a lyrical and romantic style, and they focused on love, longing, and loss. And Edith Smith, his early writing follows the conventions of romantic verse, utilizing familiar rhythm scheme, meter patterns, and poetic structures. Although it is lighter than his later writings, his early poetry is still sophisticated and accomplished. Several factors contributed to his poetic evolution. His interest in mysticism and the occult led him to explore spiritually and philosophically complex subjects. Yeats' frustrated romantic relationship with Morgan caused the austere romantic idealism of his early work to become more knowing and cynical. As a result, Yeats shifted his focus from myth and folklore to contemporary politics, often linking the two to make potent statements that reflected political aging, agitation, and turbulence in Ireland and abroad. Finally, most significantly, its connection with the changing of face of literary culture in the early 20th century led him to pick up some of the styles and conventions of the modernist poets. In short, we conclude that the modernists experimented with verse forms, aggressively engaged with contemporary politics, challenged politic conventions and the literary tradition at large, and rejected the notion that poetry should simply be lyrical and beautiful. These influences caused his poetry to become darker, edgier, and more concise.